Speaking of going crazy, the NBA draft lottery just happened, and the Washington Wizards came out on top. We have a video here, correct? Let's check the video, and then we'll talk about what happened with the draft lottery.
Picking second will be the Utah Jazz, and that means that the number one pick in the 2026 NBA draft goes to the Washington Wizards.
The Washington Wizards win the 2026 NBA draft lottery. Remember, they made a huge trade last season.
Looking pretty good.
Damn Boozer.
What's the number one pick's name?
AJ Devanta?
You ever read?
I read his last name before his first name down.
Yeah, I forget how to say that.
His name will be at the end. But I didn't know he could shoot threes. I'm surprised he can shoot threes.
BYU, right?
Ooh, AJ, yeah, AJ with the BYU. But he Cam with the Duke. But I didn't know he could shoot threes. The fact that he made this many threes, he shot over 40% three-point line at the combine was real good. And this dude right here from Kansas.
I just watched AJ Debonsa's entire AWS
thank
NBA
you.
Draft Combine Day 1 performance. And what he showed out on that court is exactly why he has long been projected as a top pick in the 2026 NBA Draft. AJ started the day off by recording a 42-inch maximum vertical jump. Now AJ has an 8'10" standing reach, meaning he has the vertical leaping ability to touch heights over 12 feet high. AJ's athleticism continued to pop for the rest of the drills. He recorded 11.06 seconds in the pro lane drill, showing his ability to make sharp movements quickly at his taller size. And then he recorded 2.99 seconds in the shuttle run. Anything under 3 seconds here is a very solid testing. AJ eventually moved on to the shooting drills, where he showed his ability to be a scoring threat in the mid-range area and from behind the arc. In the spot-up three-point shooting, he went 14 for 25, which is a solid 56%. But his best testing out of all the shooting drills was his shooting off the dribble, where he went 23 out of 30, which is 77%. AJ Debonsa's NBA Draft Combine performance showed everyone why he's such a tantalizing prospect.
Yeah, I can't see anybody trading out of the top three. I think the trades in the top 10 are going to be unlikely to happen unless it's like jockeying, moving down 2 spots from 7 to 5, something like, but I think we'd be doing a disservice by not mentioning the fact that Cam Boozer is every bit a number one pick candidate. And there are a lot of people around the NBA, especially, those that build the team's draft models that have Cam Boozer number one. He, has been the most productive player by far every step of the way. He's been the winningest player every step of the way. What he does is going to translate to the NBA. I think he's going to be an all-star. And so there are a lot of teams not teams, I would say NBA executives that I really respect and have Cam Boozer number one on their draft board. And I would expect the Wizards to give Cam Boozer a really hard look, as well as the Jazz. They're so stacked with bigs, like you said, but you don't draft for need when you're drafting 2. You don't know when an opportunity like that is going to come around. And next year's draft and the year after is not looking good whatsoever. So you go for the talent, and Darren Peterson and AJ Debonsa are talents, but Cam Boozer is a heck of an NBA prospect, and he'd be my favorite.
Peterson was the guy that was set out.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, this is really interesting. These are the kind of the draft lottery suspects we got here, and as far as who I think is going to go number one with Washington, I think they're going to go AJ. I think that he's the best pick in the draft. Boozer looked pretty solid to me though, but I don't know. he doesn't have the wow factor that AJ does. And then Peterson to me is problematic with the way that he was sitting out games once he reached stats, not caring about his team, only thinking about himself. So if I'm going with the top pick, if I'm Washington, I'm going with AJ. Um, but yeah, it's really interesting. Golden State's going to be in the lottery. I think they got what, like the 13th or 14th. I'll pull it back so we can see
11th.
the 11th. Damn, the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
The rich get richer. But yeah, this is pretty crazy. Co-host, when you're looking at this, if you got Washington, do you agree with me on the number one pick, or are you going with Peterson or Boozer if you're Washington? Because you got to remember, Washington has Trey Young, they have Anthony Davis. What is they? They have Sarr. So they got a foundation there. You know, that's definitely, if you make a right draft pick here, that's definitely look like a play-in or possible playoff team in the East, with the East usually being pretty weak after the first 4 or 5 teams.
Exactly, but I just want to say shout out to Adam Silver for actually stopping this tanking thing for at least this one season, because if you didn't know, he changed the rules up. Usually if you use the worst team in the draft, the worst team in the league, you had a better chance of winning the draft. But the way he did it was the fact that basically the 1 through 3 teams that had the worst record, you only had a 5% chance of getting the top seed.
Yeah, it used to be like 11.
Exactly, but if you 4 to 10, if you was ranked 4 to 10, then you got an 8% chance. So they had to bet. If you 4 from 10 ranked the 4th worst team to the 10th worst team, you had the best chance of basically winning.
And they implemented that this year.
They implemented that this year to get the 8% chance, and then on top of that, if you make it to the play-in, you still got a 1% chance. So they definitely change it up. Then on top of that, you can't get back-to-back first picks, and then on top of it, you can't end up. And if you can have the top 4 or 5 pick in like 5 years.
But they, I saw. I mean, I remember when we covered that, and they said that they were going to implement that, but I didn't know it wasn't going to be immediately.
Mm-hmm. They already started implementing it, and they already started implementing it. But this is
because they were saying like the Spurs wouldn't have been able to get their picks, like how they got Wemby, Derek Harper, and Castle. That if they would have been bad that many years in a row, that the later years that they would have been forced to pick later in the draft.
Exactly.
They found a way to cheat again.
Exactly. They definitely found a way to cheat again. And also, OKC picks number 12.
Yeah. Because from a trade.
And also, speaking of trades, the people that are actually kicking themselves in the butt right now is the Indiana Pacers, because they got Zubac, and they picked to the Clippers, and the Clippers now have the 5th pick.
Yeah.
So, but
let me pull that up.
But this is definitely fun. I mean, this draft is definitely deep. They send us like at least like 12 to 15 good players in this draft.
They're saying this is like probably one of the deepest drafts that we've seen in like the past decade. And then a lot of people are saying that the next couple drafts are looking to be like lower level drafts, like not have as many all-star level players. So it's a make it or break it for this year. And man, I'm disappointed the Hornets. I want LaMelo Ball and Con Knipple and Miles Bridges to
get a big man,
get a better team. Yeah, maybe get a big man or just anyone else that can help them take it to the next level. So
they get a big man at 14. It's not that many good. They didn't, when they were naming like the top players.
They pick right. You're right.
If it was a top
good pick,
it was the top players. It was mainly like there was small forwards. You seen the point guard, the dude from Kansas, what's his name? The point guard. You got Cam Boozer. He's like the only big man I really seen. But no centers. I
understand, man. The Thunder draft well, and then they do trades where it's like with Philly giving that Jared McCain.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it didn't even make sense. Like why they traded him. And I'm like, he was pretty good, even though he had a knee injury, but he's back healthy, and now he's killing it for the Thunder in the playoffs, playing like 15 minutes but scoring 18 points like every time he's on the court. It's ridiculous. And then now they're gonna have a lottery, so it's like they're gonna have like their second and third strings stacked that'll be better than some team starters. Like eventually they're gonna have to pay people, and eventually some of those really good role players are gonna be able to walk.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. This supposedly the Lakers were already eyeing Wiggins. Because he didn't really play that much in the Lakers series, and they felt like that he plays good defense and he's like way above average from 3, that they would actually give him playing time, guaranteed playing time. So it'll be interesting in this offseason if they try to poach him.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be off. That's definitely gonna be interesting if they try to approach him. And also, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see where Cam Boozer goes, because it's he may go number 3 because the Utah Jazz already got big man.
They got a shit ton of big men.
They got a shit ton of big men. Say they don't need them, and then on top of
they got like 2 centers, 3 power forwards.
So most likely he's gonna end up going to the Memphis Grizzlies, or
John Morant.
But some people are saying that his dad, Cam Booster's dad, works for the Utah Jazz. So he may still go there. We don't know, but most likely
they could be like, screw it, and like try to, because they're always trying to trade people.
Mm-hmm.
So they could try to get rid of one of those big men, because they got like a couple centers, couple power forwards, all kinds of stuff. Oh, but also RIP to Brandon Clark, man. So sad to hear that he lost his life. He was a great player. I never really cared for the Grizzlies, but he was definitely an exciting player. He's kind of a stretch 3-4, and he could hit the three. He was pretty athletic. He had some really good highlight dunks, and then he even played defense, always trying to get block shots. So all-around player that really didn't get a chance to hit his prime. Life cut short. So R.I.P. to him.
Also, the Cam Boozer situation's funny because he may end up slipping all the way to number 3, even though people are saying like he's one of the best ones. And then on top of
his dad's Carlos, Carlos is his dad, right? Yeah, Carlos is. If he's working for the Jazz in a part of their organization, what is it, assistant coach or scout or
he's
what?
Like a scout.
They might just do it just because of that.
And that
just so he could be like, he gets to be in the gym with his dad.
True, because the crazy part is with the way that the Utah Jazz have their whole roster, they have a whole bunch of big men already. Then on top of that, they just drafted in 2020.
Him small enough he could play the 3.
They drafted Ace Bailey.
He could play the 2. Let's do it like Houston.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
let's go monster.
They got Keontae George. They got Isaiah Collard, the dude that played for USC. They used to play Bronny James.
We'll figure it out.
You got too many people.
We'll figure it out.
It depends.
Figure it out. Somebody getting traded.
Who? You just got Keontae.
One of the bigs.
Walker Kessler. Laurie Marketing?
Walker's getting his ass shipped out. Send him to Texas.
So you finna send Kessler out, move Jaren Jackson to center and leave Laurie Marketing at power forward and then make Cam Boozer play backup power forward?
Yeah. And if he gets good enough, he could start at the 3.
Oh, who?
Because he can move.
You got Ace Bailey.
Moving to the 2.
You got Keontae George and Isaiah Collier.
They gotta play 1-on-1 for number 1.
It's too stacked. They got too many people.
That's when you start having a team like Golden State. Somebody's gonna come off the bench.
That's when you start thinking. That's when you start drafting. That's what he said. Like, are you gonna be drafting for positions you need or like just the best player? That's what I'm just taking the best player because he's on the board, and I don't. Yeah. That's what most likely.
Well, yeah. Usually, depending if it's like a too good of a player you can't pass up, you just take him regardless. But if it's not, then you draft for what you need. But a lot of times with the lottery, these guys, they're just going to take best available because they don't want to mess up. They don't want to be like, oh, you passed up on this guy that was like a 10-time All-Star just because you didn't want to be overstacked at one position, you idiot. They don't want to hear that.
Exactly. Would you guys comment down below how you feel about this draft lottery, who's going where, and also let us know about who you got winning the NBA championship. Make sure you check out round 3 conference finals coming up real soon.